Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Blue Falcon TCG. We got Cassian ECL. First match is that double yellow Thrawn 1. So we're either going to get stun locked for days or we're just going to rush him down real quick. Cassian, it's just basically, I guess, red heroism Trute. That's kind of what it is, except Trute, I think a little bit better being a force unit. Can get a little bit more bang for your buck on some of those upgrades. But starting off, we got the Sabine. We are playing Death Star plans, and I think it's just an actual meme. It's just it feels good. Because we can get an early swing on, throw Death Star plans, and then they have to they can't attack it. And that's why that's why I think it's like such a good. It just feels so good with Cassian. It's like you can always keep your stuff hidden. So it's whatever. But we get to play things pretty cheap, which is nice. So we're just going to hit and just play some one-cost Rebels, all day, every day. I'm going to end up resourcing that second Death Star plans. Card's good, but we don't need two on the board. Especially like into Thrawn, where they do have a lot of bigger boys and girls in their deck, and I just don't want to deal with it. Especially if, a Cad Bane comes down for super cheap and just gives them the free win. But they go ahead and use the new base capture thing. Annoying, but whatever. Not going to complain too much. We're going to play the K2SO and ping a damage because we played a red card. Giving it hitted. And that's where that Death Star planned mechanic, I think, comes in play the most. Because as long as we have initiative, we're always going to have access to it, which is super great. But it do be what it do, Yugi, and we're going ahead, slap that Fleet Lieutenant, and just swing hard in the face. They Cantina Bouncer our Pingy Boy, which is okay, and then we got some plot mechanic coming down, getting ready for a big swing on Cassian flip turn. And we got the 4 Crutch, the Heroic Sacrifice. Realistically, we don't really have to do it now. We can play it out a little bit and just start swinging and trading up when needed. And then use the Cassian for the win, But coming down with the Boba unit, exhausting 2 things on the board. So just some obnoxious shenanigans. Where we messed up here, we could have just, Heroic Sacrifice, maximize damage. But this also gets us there too. So it puts them at 18 on the Bat Village, so we're almost there. 9 more damage, and it gets us. Heroic Sacrifice next turn, or Rebel Assault just kind of secures us the game. Really no need to play Cassian. We can just Rebel Assault, swing, and almost get us there. And it does. Super great. Game 1, fantastic. Rolling on into our game 2, and boy, the Data Wall Anakin that's been running rampant on Carabas is obnoxious. It's just good. Okay, being able to trade up, and then you get that upgrade where you get to just trade up and then replace your unit, or you have a Cabvance kill. It's just great. But we're starting it off good, so even if we have to trade up, but they got the same thing going on. So I think there was quite a bit of misplay on my behalf in this game. We're gonna see if I can catch it in this video. But Fleet Lieutenant going down, hitting that 5. The new Rebel card is so great because it can just replace itself as revealing a Reb. So Power of the Dark Side doesn't feel as hindering anymore because then we still get that 2 chip damage. But not bad. Personally, I think if I was the Anakin player, I would have just traded away. I already claimed initiative, and then, but it's going to give us extra damage, so I'm contemplating going ECL. Ended up doing it, getting that K2 extra overwhelm damage on there. I really wanted to clear away the ground arena. That way I can make that chip damage. I should have held the ECL and just attacked with the 3 and then played K2SO. And then kept the ECL for the Poe play. that was probably one of my earlier mistakes. Because then, in this instance, I could have discarded a card, defeated the upgrade, and it would keep a lot of value away from my opponent. Really want to keep the Death Star planned, but it just feels bad. So I have to go ahead and resource it now, because at this point we're not in a great spot. But we're gonna Fleet Lieutenant and just crush. So put them at 16. We gotta outpace the Anakin early on. That way, when they hit their flip turn and they already, we can feel like we can sneak a win, especially with like 4 crutch I believe in and things like that. But we're gonna go put them at 18 on 5 resources. It's feeling like we're in a really solid spot. We're presenting a lot of lethal damage, and it feels good. They go smuggle the Cassian, one of the best red cards in the game. And I think this is where we bamboozle ourselves a little bit. Either way, we needed to get rid of the Cassian. I think what I should have done was hit the Cassian with K2, or hit the Cassian with the Spy. That way, if they decide to trade up with K2, it still does damage. And I don't lose a monster. I don't lose a unit this way. Well, I still would. It would have been a 1-for-1 trade. And this upgrade they have on K2 just feels really good, especially because they can't really hit my unit because of all the shenanigans. Now, this is kind of where I really messed up. I'm not sure if I messed up here. Yeah, no, this is exactly where I messed up. Because there's no way. Actually, yeah, correct. I didn't really misplay. There was really no way I could have got the extra 2 damage. But going into the Padme deck now, I think this is kind of a sneaky deck. Reveal, do damage. Personally, I really like Tarkin Town on it. Kind of reminds me of a Diet Quinlan boss. But as long as you can disclose or discard something, you're almost always going to have the ability to just pop things. Like here in this instance, if they were playing Tarkin Town, my turn 1 play would have been gone. And that's enough. That's just disgusting. We're gonna drop the A-wing, and we're going to swing with Sabine into the face. That way, we make sure it stays hidden, so we get it on the next turn. Just feels good. Just good stuff. Star Wars here. Now, looking at this, is this going to be the better deck post-rotation for the new Heroism Rush strategy? I'm not sure. I really don't think so, especially when it comes out on 6. I feel like Cassian will find a better home in that mid-range red, white, blue, maybe red, white, yellow, where you can kind of control the early game and not really have to worry about just putting a lot of pressure on the stuff. Now, Fleet Lieutenant again, keep the Sabine on board, and they go ahead and make themselves just big Sentinels. They got the green dude for the constant disclose for the extra pop, which is obnoxious, but we're going to ECL our Poe down, and we're going to discard 1 card, discarding our Battlefield Marine, so we can clear the Obi-Wan as well. Good little 2-for-1 action. And they're going to reveal, they're going to heal 1, and they're going to do an extra damage. They got a good amount, so now they can trade up the Poe, or they slap another Sentinel down. And we're just going to end up just getting rid of the Obi. I think here we should have just... Yeah, that was just really just bad. I should have just took initiative, let them do it. They just captured my Poe. I had to read that card. I was like, what is this? I've been to 3 pre-releases, a bunch of draft nights. I have it. I just never seen it played. And you know what? That's sick. Very cool. We're gonna play very bad here, though. I think we need to smuggle here, and then we gotta just do Rebel Assault, and that way we can clear it off. But we're gonna have to do it anyways. Eat it with Padme flip. We're gonna claim initiative. That way we can get the zombie Cassian kind of thing going. We want to make sure we have all the value all the time. We got the 4 crutch and we got the smuggler for the 1 ping, so it feels really good here, but we're gonna end up just getting. We want to make sure we just play it for free, and we just claim the initiative. So we're playing a little safe here. Not, I just want to. I really want to make sure I have Cassian active, and that's just my vibe with it right here. The longer I can keep Cassian on board, the more annoying and more oppressive I can be, and that's fine. You know, we end up losing it, so we're gonna swing, grab the other Cassian, which is great. So we got the Cassian galore, and this is kind of why we need to play blue, because we can just play the full Cassian lore. But right here, we have a really solid spot. You know, they can just keep sentineling us and just all the shenanigans, and just really putting in the work. But super solid spot. Put them at 28. They had to clear. You know, they're going to do it. We got the 4 crutch though, so it doesn't matter. But this deck is absolutely amazing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, check out the channel, and check out the list. You know, it's great. Description and link below. Hope you guys have a great weekend and stay safe.